heavy lies the crown. Whenever I read the title of this game, I'm just like, thrive. This is a city builder that a friend of mine was like, you should check it out. You should play it. It is in an alpha stage right now. I played it on stream and I wanted to make just a quick let's play video that kind of showed you the game. It is so much fun. I think it has so much potential and I'm really looking forward to it. So let's hop in and play just the beginning part of the game so you can kind of see it and understand it, add it to your wish list, and hopefully play in early access real soon. All right, so we're going to say single player, and then you get this great map. And you've got all these little provinces, and from what I can tell, I think in this version of the game, they're all the same. They're all the same. So I'm gonna pick this one because it's the one I always pick, and then I've been picking the little snowflake because I think it's cool. I just don't like these things because I don't know if this is just me, but I'm always clicking through and I'm like, oh, I like this one. Oh no, I like this one too. No, but where was the other one? It was back here. I just wish they could you could click and then a big open thing would say, here's all your choices. So you could just kind of look and say, I like these two, this one, and then pick one, right? We're going to pick this. We can't change the color. We can't change anything else. We're going to say confirm. Going to load in. It brings us to this screen. 2 months since the fall of Aldamor. It's gathering survivors and set up for a new home. Nazamor is the future? Don't beat me up on the pronunciation here. Advisors, in the end, this is part of the story of the game, which, you know me, I'm not into the big story part of it, but this game has just the right balance of story. I've been enjoying it. And I think that as a city builder and an RTS, the story really kind of ties it all together. It's really well done. Here you can pick from 3 choices: wisdom, vigilance, prosperity. So basically what I'm guessing is science, brute force, and then let's make some money. I'm going to pick the wisdom, and it says, would you like to play the tutorial? Yeah, I want to show you the tutorial. So we're going to say yes. And then I think this is one of the better tutorials I've seen for a game like this. It is in-depth and it helps guide you through the early stages of the game really well. It's definitely worth doing. I don't know if playing it all the way to the end, but at least to get a feel for the game. So in the bottom right here, we've got the controls, which are pretty straightforward. Well done, Your Majesty. Now that you've found your new home, let's move our caravan to a location you wish to build. All right, so this is basically, you've got a caravan here. Here they are. Hey guys. Which is loaded full of goods, and it wants us to find a home. If we scroll out, we can see it pops all the way out to the big map again, and then all the way back down. I'm going to pick this nice flat area, so I've got him. We're going to move him over here. And then it's saying, hey, to make this happen, we need to deploy. And if we click deploy, it'll set us down right here. And then it's going to say, hey, we need to build a keep. And if we click on that, then we can kind of see where it's at. I'm going to strategically here, I'm going to put it right here. That's going to send out the workers. There they are. And they're going to start building the keep. And if we click on it, we'll get this nice information. The progress bar will start moving. We can see all the workers down here, logs and stones. And this is stuff that was inside the caravan that's now here to be built. As they complete the building here, should take us to the next tutorial mission, which is a primitive stockpile. Now these stockpiles create zones, and these stockpiles actually kind of run the early game as far as I can tell. You need a stockpile wherever you're building because it's going to hold all the resources and also provide builders to build whatever you're building. I think that this mechanic is great because it controls how the AI moves about the map, and it's probably great for pathing. It's probably great for resource management, but there's something that just sort of bothers me about it. And I've gotten used to it, so I'm in a better place, but you let me know what you think about the whole, it's a zone, you got to have it. Like this, whenever you're building anything, you got to build a stockpile first. So we're going to say, okay, we're going to close this up here, and you can see objectives in the top right now, resource storage, build one primitive stockpile. I've got some knowledge here, and I know that the stockpile needs to be centered around what we're building. So we're going to click here. I've got some forward knowledge. I know that I want to get this stockpile. I know that I want to get this food stores, and I know that I want to get a well sort of in the same area so I can kind of build houses around them. And so I've been building like what I'm calling pods to get these things going. And so this little white area is the influence area, the zone influence, right? I'm not perfect at this yet, but I feel like I'm getting better. R to rotate, you can see it's rotating around. And then I think I'm going to offset it a little bit this way and cheat it. And we're going to click that one there. And then we're going to let them build. And it's saying, hey, buddy, there's no roads. So we go to logistics and a dirt road and we can run it. I don't have like the perfect layout yet, but I'm getting there. I think the one thing this game does is it challenges if you're like me and you've got like a grid mentality build out. I know that it's all built on a grid and there's boxes and hexes and what have you, but I think if you've got that mentality, it sort of pushes you out of it saying, hey, listen, you kind of need to build organically and then sort of build the roads around it. Various structures have an area of influence, which is what we talked about. This indicates the colored border around the selected structure. All buildings and citizens within this border are affected by the structure. Perfect. All right, now we need to build a logging camp and a rock camp, a quarry. Both these resource camps can be found in the build menu. Workers gather from resource flags and return the harvest goods to nearby storage facilities. All right, so now we're going to come in here and say logger camp. I'm going to put it right here amongst these trees, I think, for the time being. All right, and then we're going to build a quarry camp. You can see there's a bunch of rocks out here. Do you see them on the ground? If we get real close, you can see them. So I'm going to set it here. To manually adjust the area of influence on the resource camp, simply click on the structure and we'll click on the structure. And then we can see it's got a nice green box and we can actually make it bigger. So we can get some of these other rocks. With our building supplies secure, we can now shift our focus to life's necessities, food and water. Food stores can be built in the area at the bottom. Check with a farm tab. So we're going to say okay. And right here, we're going to look at this one too. And I wonder what happens if we move it beyond the border. No, that's good. So now they're gathering resources and they're going to put them into the stockpile. And now it's saying we need to build food stores. So we're going to come in here and I'm going to put this back to back. Click. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to drag a road to it. And you'll see that like it's saying, hey, there's no road here. And I don't think it is going to line up. Hooray. All right. And this one's going to be red because it's like, hey, there's no enough storage. We're missing the parts. So it's delivering the parts in and then it should start building it. And you can see we've got these nice people kind of pathing. If we click on these dudes, we can see what they're pathing to. Which, like, I think it's hilarious. It's sort of like a zigzag. And so what it's saying here is like, hey, Drax, how about a road right here? And they do speed up once they hit the road. And so if we look at how they're pathing here, we kind of want to figure out if we can put a road in. I mean, it's diagonal all the way, so it's not great. Not great. How about out here? What's the path look like for these guys? Oh, that's not bad. Maybe we can we do something like try to move them a little bit faster? Did someone jump on the road there? Hey, we got one person. In the top right corner here, you can control the speed. We can speed it up if we want to. We've also got some great stuff up top here. Logs, rough stone, apples, hemp, stuff to come. You can change these too, which I think is a really cool feature. You can click on it and then you can make it be something else. So if you wanted like cider up here, you could just move it closer. All right. They're building the food stores. I think the graphics are quite nice and I don't have them turned all the way up. All right. The food store is complete. Workers are in and now food will start getting stored in the food store. Next, we need to place a well in the area. Everyone's going to need some water. We're going to say, okay, we're going to go to well. You can see it's highlighted here. It's got its own box too. So this is a tough one, right? Like, cause you kind of want it to be centered. but we can add more wells if we need to. So I'm just going to toss it in the center for now. And they're going to start building that as well. And you can see our objectives have updated. Build one road between your food market and a primitive stockpile, which we've done. And now we're constructing a well. And I think our log problem in terms of how quickly they're getting in is just that they're pathing diagonally, which I wish if you're gonna have the workers path diagonally, like why can't I build a diagonal road, right? And maybe that'll come, but it's a little annoying. All right, they're building the well. Everything's been delivered. You can see up here we're gathering resources at a good pace. Construct housing. Homes provide each class with a sense of security, along with insight into the residents' happiness and well-being. Build at least 12 farmer houses. Say, okay, we'll go here. Here's a little farmer houses. You can see it brings up the area of influence, right? And so we're going to want to keep it inside each one of these levels for them to build. And I'm not going to be everyone just needs to chill. I'm not going to be the cleanest on this. I think it's going to go something like, let's try to put one there, and then can we do one there and one there? And then I think it's telling me I don't have a road. That's fine. And then we'll go here, here, and here. And then we'll come here and say, hi, let's put in road. Now that's 6, so we need 6 more. We'll come here and we'll do the same thing. And I think it's gonna I don't have it perfected yet. It's just gonna be a little off. And now all of these are in an area of influence, so they should be fine to build. If you put this house out here away from the stockpile, nothing will happen. It will wait until you build a stockpile close to it. So that's the hardest thing I think to learn about this game is that everything starts with a stockpile. Stockpile in first, keep everything in this white area box can be built. Outside of it, no. So if I want to get another stockpile, I need to get it here and then it'll grow the influence. And so everything's sort of hubbed around, not the keep, but the stockpile, the food storage, and the well. And you can see that we were out of people here. And this will be explained in a minute, but under jobs, you can set the priority of what people will be in what job. And so the priority right now is builders. It builds everything first, and then it moves food to the stockpile, and then the loggers, and then the quarry and the food stores. We're going to talk more about this. All right, here's our first event. I'm going to hit the space bar to pause the game. Once the event comes up, you can't do anything else. You could just got to do the event. You could close it, I guess. The foundations of your settlement have been laid, but much must be done to encourage its growth. So we're going to talk to our advisors. Continue. There he is. I always give this guy a New York. Doesn't he look like this guy a New York accent? The solution is easily found, Your Majesty. Without our people, we could not have come this far. I don't know. And then this guy, I don't know. I've been giving him a surfer accent. I don't think it's the best. It's true, Chancellor. We've got a lot to overcome, like tragedies of the past. Both reasonable positions. And then this guy, I think, is squirmy, and he kind of talks like this. So you've got 3 advisors, and basically you've got like the humanitarian, the brawler, and the capitalist, right? And they're giving you solutions on what to do. And so you get those kind of dialogues, which they're saying they'll be actually voice acted, which will get rid of I just give some nice voice acting. I'm available. All right. And so then we have 3 choices here. We can say safety first above all else. That's the fighter, right? And then we need to help our people. That's the humanitarian. And then we've got the capitalist, right? We should choose the coin of our citizenry. I'm going to pick the one in the middle because I think we should take care of our people. He comes back and says, okay, great. You're going to say continue. He's going to say, dude, whatever, man. Like, we need some swords. They're going to kind of back and forth, hit continue. So you don't have to read it. You just continue, like some games, right? And then let's hear from the knight. Let's talk about so I'm just going to say, let's continue. He's going to give us 250 apples and tell us we did a good job. That's going to get us started. Act 1, event complete. I think they're the perfect little stories to sort of bring you closer to the world in which you're building in. And I'm really enjoying them, and they just kind of get better and better and better. I think you throw in some professional voice acting. Not that my voice acting is not great. I think it's going to be solid. All right, so we'll hit unpause. We're going to close the jobs tab. We need 5 of 12 farmer houses. When you pause, it slows the game, so you can speed it back up by clicking the speed button. And we're just going to speed build here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times 3, that's 12. That was my math. And you can see here in the top left, we're getting farmer house constructed. This is an event log. It's logging all events that are happening. So if you need to see what's going on, you can always come back in here. As the last house is being constructed, I'm going to slow back down time to 2x. Night rolls in. I think night in this game is very cool. It's very well lit. Next, let's explore the housing interface. Click on one of your farmhouses. Yep. And here we can see total happiness. We can see residents, who's living there. We can see events, and if we hover, we can see what it is. And then these are their needs. And so we're filling all the needs now, and these are like placeholders that aren't quite working. But we need firewood, right? And that's what I think it's going to tell us to do next. Fulfill your people's needs and will directly affect their happiness. Perfect. Close this. Click on the happiness in the resource bar. Hey, do it. All right, good. Happiness icon will represent if they're happy or not. This is what affects their overall. And this is a placeholder. They've said that this will continue to change as the game gets closer to release. If 20 or more individuals of the same class are disconnected, the chance maybe to revolt, which I just think is fantastic. Citizens in the state gather outside the keep, shouting and raising torches to show their anger. It's great. Now that we provided housing, we should ensure our people have another of the critical needs met, firewood, to warm their houses. I'm going to say okay. Construct a wood chopper. All right, so the first thing you're going to do is not build a wood chopper. You're going to say, I need a primitive stockpile here. And I'm going to build it, just on the edge here. And say, okay. And you can see they immediately go up here and are ready to start building. I'm going to run a road right in here. The roads are easy to pull in and pull out. There's a demolition mode here too. You can come in here and say, you know what? I didn't want that road to go right there. You can also just one-click it and it'll go away. They're building. It's saying things like there's no available storage in range, but that's going to change because they are an available storage. There we go. All right, so that's in place. Now we're going to come here and we're going to say wood chopper. And now we can put this wood chopper just about anywhere, right? Up until the white box. So I'm going to put it, there. And then these are the builders. So they're going to immediately go over there. Check it out. And now that we've built this, we've taken 6 more workers out of the pool. 5 more, Drax, doing the math. So they're fighting it for these things which are at the bottom. And remember what I was talking about on jobs. So I've got well and food at the bottom because I'm not worried about that yet. Like it's in this early game where we've got 250 apples. So like we want things to get built. We want the logging camp and the quarry to like do stuff. Building is our main focus just for this tutorial. All right, they're making their way on the wood chopper. I'm going to speed time up again. All right, that's coming to an end. Slow time down. Complete. You can manage your citizens' occupations through the job menu located in the status pane. We've done that. Yeah, I'm ahead of myself. We can move them around. We can see the different laborers and farmers. We can also go between the places when we have more provinces. With your workers' issue solved and producing 30 firewood, a wood chopper to ensure that every home has adequate heat. All right, cool. So it's going. It's saying there's nobody here to produce them. So the wood chopper's at the bottom. So let's move the wood chopper up. This is another one of the things I wish you could just pick it up and move it. Like it would be great if you just pick it up and move it to the top instead of having to click. So now you can see it's got 2 people. And you can see it's producing firewood. We just need to collect 30, so it should be pretty quick. Sweet. Our people now need a source of food, build an apple orchard to begin the production of basic rations. I think it's hilarious that your starting food is apples. Can you imagine starting a colony and being like, all right, guys, let's go plant some apple trees. I mean, how long does it take to grow apples in real life? Like months. All right, so we're going to say, okay. We're going to come here to logistics. Here's the apple. You can see this green box is saying it needs to be within this green box. I'm going to put it right here. Whoops, I always kind of mess this up. So you got to click and then drag. And I'm going to make it as big as I can. As big as it'll allow me. I think that's it. So there it is. And it's instant. Like, boom. And then let's look at the job here. And the apples are at the bottom, so I want to move them up so that we actually get a couple of workers assigned to it. There we go. We'll move it above the quarry for now. All right, they're planting apples. We've got one worker in there. That's not going to go fast, huh? Our citizens' needs for supplies are beginning to outpace our ability to produce them. Your Majesty, we should look to increase our farming population to at least 40. To achieve this, happiness in our current farmings must remain high. Happiness, farmers, okay. So it's saying build more houses, which we knew was coming, right? So we're going to click here. Houses. We can see I've planned ahead here. I've got plenty of room to expand. So let's put one here and here and here. And then we're going to flip and do the same. And I'll get a road in here in a second. We're going to come here. And then right down the middle. Cool. That's 6 more. That's 30. And then we're going to do the same thing. And we're just going to kind of fill it in here. Not perfect. And then come in and just run a road right down the middle here. And then I think we'll connect up here. Ooh, that dark comes in fast, doesn't it? All right. And they're building already. And it's saying there's no road here. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's the well saying there's no water. Drax. And you can see as we're building the houses up here, farming house was constructed, joined your colony. So we're immediately getting more people in. If we go back to the jobs tab, these jobs should start to fill in as we have more people. I think that in this version of the game, we don't have the reporting that's telling us this many houses, this many people. It just sort of feels like if you build a house, then people come. And I was making the joke that like, there's just a ton of people sitting at the border waiting. And as soon as I build a house, they open a gate, one comes in. Open a house, one comes in. It's just a constant flow of people coming in. The soil here is rich in its surface, but the farmers doubt its stability. We are feet below. All right, our New York friend is back. Your Majesty, farmers are weary. They fear the soil. Still, the farmers are struggling. It's possible for the locals to have knowledge and skills unknown. Maybe able to land, take a bit, to find someone with greater understanding. All right, so now it just brings it down to your choice, right? Choose your own adventure. We've already lost so much. We're struggling, lose more to research, so like take more time. Perhaps it would be wise to secure a farmer who knows these lands. That seems like the smart choice. Land is land. Chancellor, we believe our farmers have forgotten their craft. All right, so I think let's try to find somebody. I believe that's entirely possible. Send a scout and an offer. Their knowledge will provide invaluable to us. Rest to be certain. I trust your judgment, Chancellor. A willingness to learn will help us succeed, right? Still, we cannot spare more time. Yes, I like how it's like another, like it's almost like a, are you sure about this? Are you sure you want to do this? So let's hit continue. A scout will be sent to retain a local seasoned farmer. They and theirs will be offered a home and land amongst our settlement and a trade in knowledge and skills. So great, right? Act 1, event complete, Sown. We can unpause and continue. We got 31 of 40 built, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. So we need 3 more. Let's do this. We're right inside the box of the. Let's do 1 and 1, and then take a little road right here. And now we'll let them build in. And you see we're up to 32 people here. We're going to let them build the rest of these houses. A loom with a view. Provide access to new resources if you hope to produce higher quality items. Hemp, the cornerstone of textiles, is a great way to begin producing finer goods. Hemp farms. All right, perfect. So they're going to keep building these houses down here. And we're going to look at building a hemp farm. If we click in, we can see it's now inside of a white box, which means it's just tied to one of these stockpiles. So we click here. I'm going to build, I think, right here if I can. As long as it'll go. Perfect. Oh no. Waelgrim and Surges. The purple meter located below the resource bar. It's up here. It's empty now. It says 0. The mysterious force can manifest itself in a variety of ways and has the potential to greatly disrupt the altar and the state of your kingdom. When the meter fills, you'll experience a Waelgrim surge, an unpredictable outcome that will occur in one of the occupied provinces. So this is sort of like, this is the combat part of it. This is like the bad guys showing up in RimWorld, the waves of bugs in Stranded Alien Dawn, right? This is just, it's a pretty cool mechanic, and I haven't seen it too far, but I think it's worth keeping an eye on. I think it adds a little bit of variety into the game, and also it helps you kind of, I think it's going to lead to tower defense, but it'll be fun. We'll say okay. And if we look around here, I don't think anything has shown up on the map yet. But in time. All right, so there they are. They're building hemp. They're producing hemp. We need to get hemp at 50. Oh, it's right here. Oh, Drax. That's a bad placement of those crystals. How would you like to live right here? Hey, I'm not so keen on this. All right, and we can see now we're having a problem keeping up with the stone. So if we come back here, we've got everything. We've got unemployed workers. And remember, I took some workers out, so I'm going to put them back. And then we're going to come over here to the stone. And we're going to put them back. And then I think what we'll do is we'll make this a little bit bigger and see if they can't bring in some more stone. 26 at a time now. And then we'll speed back up the time. Our hemp farm now allows us to create luxury goods. Build an outfitter in the building menu. Say okay. All right, we'll click here. We'll go to outfitter. See the 2 white boxes on the zones. They're going to use the hemp that we just built. And this is right on the edge. I'm thinking we put them here. This is going to produce hemp clothes, sandals, and leather robes. Luxury requirements will keep your citizens well dressed. And then logs, hemp, and stone to get it built. And we're pulling hemp en masse. I think the key to this game, like in most of these games, but more so in this one actually, is the layout matters. It is so important. Where you put your food store, where you put the stockpiles and how they're related to other stockpiles, housing placement, and then everything else. I think there's a rhyme and reason to this too. You can see putting in the roads is huge. It makes them move so much faster. And I think the first time I played, I wasn't quite aware of that. And it was a little hard for me to wrap my head around. But now that I've kind of got an understanding, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to make this video, is just kind of to show you that there's a great game here. It's just got a little bit of mechanics that you need to get used to. All right, the outfitter is being completed finally. Everyone will have some clothes, some shoes more importantly. And now we need to collect 48 hemp clothing. We're on the fastest speed. We can see here, it's pretty quick actually. And there's a fire! All right, this happens more and more as your city grows. And the thing to remember is that as long as there is a well close by, which there is, then they should put the fire out. And as we grow, there's a firehouse that you can build. But I think what to remember is that make sure that there is always a well close by and that all of your buildings are inside of a blue area. There's no well up here. So if there's a fire, we're going to be in trouble. Entertainment is key to maintaining a happy society, and few things as effective as spirits producing fermenter. So now we're going to build some cider. I think this is actually a great place to stop. I think it gives you a good idea of what the game is about and how to play. It is such a rich game, and I'm really looking forward to it. Remember, stockpiles are key. The game has a lot to offer. We're going to make clothes. We're going to make cider. We're going to do lumber. There's a whole nother level of laborers that we'll build in. There's a bunch of fighting that's going to happen. So it's a big, rich game. And in this video, I just kind of wanted to introduce you to it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please add this game to your wish list. It needs your love. It's a fantastic game. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. The video's over. Now it's time for you to do your part. Follow, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.